just going to tell you about my experience of what happened. It caused Dennis a lot of pain and suffering. It was an attitude I had when I was going to UCLA. I never thought my films would be more than just what they were, like a thesis film. Once it was done, that was it. I didn't worry about doing the music, and that's where they came in and spent a lot of time and suffering because of my ignorance. And I didn't attend a seminar like this or this sort of situation where they explained everything. When I made my first film, it was a thesis film, and I thought once it was done, that was it, because there was no place to show it, you know, and it was this attitude like, and it was like films of people of color didn't do anything, you know. So when the film was finished, I got my thesis, I thought, well, that was it. So I didn't have to worry about trying to get permits for anything, you know, because, you know, why pay a lot of money and I didn't have to, because if it was going to show a commercial, then I would have to have documents and paper to show that I had the music rights and things like that. And I remember shooting at the Greyhound bus station. You know, I just went in with a camera and they flared, I just started shooting, and they told me, get out, you know, I just kept on shooting. You know, so now, I mean, my son goes to school and I was telling him, just go and shoot this and do this. He said, no, I have to have a permit, I have to have it signed, you know. I said, no, we didn't worry about that. We're just going to do it. You know? Because the film didn't cost very much. And that was a mistake because, well, it wasn't a mistake, that was the attitude we had. A bunch of people who were making films never, you know, we made industrial films, there was some sort of market or something like that. But in terms of, you know, films, pieces like Killer Sheep and other features, you know, we didn't have any place to take them. So why go through all this other, you know, extra, you know, running around trying to get permits for the music and stuff. If I'd known I was going to sell the film, I could sell it, it would have been cheaper to try to get the permits for licensing the music then than waiting years later, you know, to try to do that. And so, and it cost me, but if I had the attitude that, oh, I can sell this, you know, and I need this to sell it, I would have done all that stuff. But I didn't know that, you know. But now, you know, believe me, I'm going to get a permit for everything, you know, to go and just find, you know, I know now that, you know, in order to sell it, you know, even try to get in festivals, you have to have evidence that you have permits for everything, you know, train tracks, whatever it is, you know, train tracks, you need a permit. I'm saying, no, just go, I'm telling them, you know, young people, just go take it, which is the wrong thing to do, you know. Now I have to say, no, you get a permit, you know, if you want to be successful, get your film sold at some point, get in festivals, then you need to get all this business taken care of. And Dennis and Amy and those guys spent money and years trying to get the rights to music. I should have just, you know, I could have got it cheaper in the end, but I didn't. You know, so you have to know that this is a business.